Hey there, little bunny. I hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too, little bunny. Come to me as you are, because I am so excited to see you, no matter what state you're in. If you're having a great day, I'm so excited to see you. And if you're having the worst day and you say, Daddy, this has been the worst day, the worst week, the worst month, the worst chapter of my life, you may say, I am so excited to see you, and I'm glad to see you, little bunny. And I'm going to tone down the energy a little bit so we can be relaxing. I want you to know how thrilled I am. Thrilled is high excitement. Pick a different word, Daddy. I want you to know how much I love that you are here right now to spend this precious, precious time together. This is sacred, special time. Time of love and relaxation, inspiration, and laughs, occasionally tears, but always tears of joy, tears of getting the good stuff out, tears of happiness even, tears of relief, laughs of relief, smiles of joy, and perhaps even falling asleep, which you always have permission to tune me out and fall asleep. However you listen to this, I just want you to listen with loving ears, because I'm giving you my real heart, little bunny. I'm giving you my real love right now. I have my hand to my heart, and I can feel the little tickly warmth. That's you right now. So, for me to trust you, you have to promise you listen with open, loving ears. And that's all I will ever need from you. Deal? Pretty good deal, right? It's win-win. I feel like I get the better end of the deal, actually. This is so easy for me. So easy to be here for you. It's fun. It's not a lot of work. Except that I have high standards for myself. So that's a little bit of work, making sure that everything's all solid and good to go. That I'm always getting better. And there's technology stuff that's so annoying. Getting all this stuff to work right and to export right. Oh, it's more advanced than you might think. But this part right here, of just opening my heart to you, taking care of you, being here for you, easy. You are no burden to me at all, little bunny. You are easy mode in my life. So, you better listen guilt-free as well. This is all good. This is win-win. And I need to take a sip of tea because my mouth needs some tea in it right now. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, gotta get everything. I'm doing my, the garden library is in darkness, but for some candlelight right now. So let me make sure I can pour in the dark. We'll just do a half cup for now, since I think the kettle keeps it warmer than the cup, than the mug, I guess. Let's take a sip. I think it might be too hot. Oh, it is perfect temperature and perfect strength. Oh my God, little bunny. Oh, I nailed it. I nailed this pot of tea. And I nailed the timing of the tea. Oh man, little bunny, what more could you want from life than a well-timed tea? Add that if you're keeping a database of Daddy Lindy quotes. Whatever I said just now, I don't want to say it again or I'll get it wrong. What better is there in life than a well-timed tea or something like that? Oh, one of these days I'm going to get all these recordings I've ever done and pop it in an AI and have it automatically listen to everything and get all the good quotes. Then we'll make a book or something. I've got a good topic for you today. But I guess before I forget, email list. Maybe you've already put your name in the email or your email on the email list, and you're like, Daddy, I'm so sick of hearing you say, put your email on the email list. Okay, do that. You can find the link. Be brave. I don't want to focus on optimizing the clicks and things like that. The other thing is the locked audio on Patreon this past week. It's a super serious audio, actually. I was talking about tears of joy just a couple minutes ago right here. And there's a certain type of tears that I think aren't really tears. It's what happens when you release grief. I've heard it called keening before, and I think that's probably the most accurate word for it. And it's my belief that in life, when you collect grief, it could be something tragic that happens all at once, whether it be someone passing away, or even if it's a really bad breakup or something like this. It's really more about this tension that grabs our heart, and the tension doesn't release on its own. And the grief could be a buildup of small things day to day. If you go through every day and just gather a bit of depression, and not that you're guilty for that, it's often very much out of your control, but little things that you pick up day to day, little bits of tension, that can add up as well. And eventually the time needs to come, hopefully sooner rather than later. You need to find a safe space to just open the faucet and let it all out. It'll feel like the form of tears, but it's the kind of gasping for air type of tears. And so the audio this week on Patreon is to help you with that, to give you a safe place with someone you trust, if you trust me. Someone who gets you, even if you don't believe I get you. I do get you, little bunny. I get so much about you. And you can just drop and let go. And then I tell you some story time. And I give you a little bit of daddy wisdom about grief. So that is on the Patreon, the locked section of the garden. And it's locked because there's a paywall, but also it's ages 18 to 800 only. So you must be between the ages of 18 and 800 for you to get your keys to the locked section of the garden. What else? Yeah, if you want a fun shirt or baseball tee or something, there's the everything is going to be okay shirt, but get that for your own sake. Don't get that for me. I think what's most important for me is long-term growth of the garden. So if you buy like a t-shirt, you pay for this tee right here. Get it? A t-shirt. Wow. Oh my God. No. Oh no. Put it in garden lore. If you buy a t-shirt, it goes to paying for the tea right here. But, and that's wonderful, and I appreciate it, especially when I get to taste the tea. Yes, and the most important thing for me is being able to grow the garden. So the email list is super important with that, because the time will come early next year, 2026, when I'm going to need you to spread the frickin' word or be an audience for romance writers and creators, storytellers. The startup needs two types of people. One is people who want to tell spicy romance stories. And the second is people who want to hear and read and play spicy romance stories. So that's why I need you on the email list, to be that first initial audience and potentially to help spread the word. The whole startup hinges on that. And it's going to be a ton of fun. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I was spending, I don't even know how long, a long time today developing the software for it. And it's turning out so well. It's going to be so cool. Okay, the topic of today's episode, Little Bunny, is greeting people with the energy that you would like back. This is such a light bulb moment. It's so simple, and I didn't realize it until very recently. If you want to have a certain kind of interaction with a person, you can just set it with the way you say hello. I cannot believe that this is not common knowledge, because I didn't realize it until recently. But I tested it out this past week, and it is so freaking true. I can't believe it. It's such a life hack. And so for me personally, what I have been wanting to lead with is just a love and a warmth. I love having warm, loving interactions with people. And it's crazy just by leading the hello with warmth and happiness and being excited to see that person. They will be excited to see you back, genuinely. If you're genuinely excited to see them, they are genuinely excited to see you back. The huge light bulb moment for me. Story time from a couple weeks ago. I went back to visit my mom to kind of get the house arranged because she's going to be living alone now. And I had lived in the house for a year, way back when, during a recovery period of my life. And something that really pulled me through was swing dancing Little Bunny. It is such a source of joy. If you feel like you need an antidepressant, either in addition or instead of, hopefully in addition to, I think medications are great. But if you need something really powerful as an antidepressant, go swing dancing. It is marvelous for your happiness. So I went to this swing dance where there's all these people that I used to see 3 times a week in this year, X number of years ago. And so I kind of go in and I see someone that I know, and I kind of do a nonchalant, like, sup, greeting, and he gives me a nonchalant sup, greeting back. It's good. I'm like, okay, I guess that guy's like, he's like, thinks it's nice to see me. That's good. Okay. I go in and I greet someone else with like a sup type thing. But then some people start greeting me with this crazy happy, like, I am so excited to see you energy. And right back, I gave them super, I'm so excited to see you energy. And it felt so good for someone. I have to tell you, the person who nailed it, this is the greatest hello I have ever received. She saw me. She like screams my name out loud. She comes and wraps her arms around me and is like spinning me in a circle. And she's smaller than me, so it's like even more comical. And that energy extends for maybe 40 seconds. 40 seconds. That feels awesome, Little Bunny. And you may be thinking, oh shit, Daddy, there's nobody in my life who greets me like that. Well, Little Bunny, maybe you can start greeting people like that, because I personally, this woman is like fantastic. I have such good not impressions of her, but I get such good vibes from her. I admire her. I think she's great. I could totally have seen myself just giving like a smile and a wave, you know? But she was the one who filled in that ambiguity. I've come up with a word for it. It's called acquaintance ambiguity. And you'll find it so much especially in your adult life, when you meet people through activities. And that's really how you have to meet people in adult life. If you're living in your late 20s and beyond right now, little bunny, and you notice like, oh my God, I have so much fewer friends than I did before. You might think, am I less likable? Am I like, what is wrong with me, etc. The thing that changed is that you are no longer in school, basically. And maybe some early jobs out of school can have some of that same camaraderie energy as well. But generally in your adult life, you need to meet people through activities so there's something in common. And then you're going to have all these acquaintances. And you might think, oh my God, I have all these acquaintances, but none of them have converted to true, genuine friends. That's because, little bunny, there's an ambiguity in between each of these relationships you have with all of these acquaintances. By the way, if you do not speak English as a first language, little bunny, an acquaintance is someone that you kind of know. You know their name, you say hi, but you've maybe only had a few short conversations with them, type of thing. And you might really like them, but you don't really know them to the point that they can be someone who's considered really close to you, right? That's what an acquaintance is. And ambiguity is when things are uncertain or not well defined. Things aren't so clear. It's a little bit of foggy, hazy, not quite sure how someone feels about you. So this term acquaintance ambiguity, you go to, keep it dancing. Let's say you go to swing dancing, little bunny. Let's say you listen to your daddy, Lindy, and you go swing dancing. And you're going to suddenly have all these acquaintances that you have smiles with, because swing dancing is a smiling activity. And the dance will end, and then boom, the ambiguity sets in. And you don't know how they feel about you, and they're waiting to see how you feel about them. So, next time you see them, let's say, after you've already established that you are aware of each other, you know each other, you had a dance, be so excited to see them. Let your eyes light up with genuine excitement. 1 second. Okay, go over there, arms wide for a hug. There's one of two things that will happen, little bunny. One, they will greet you with the same energy back, and boom, there's no more ambiguity, and this acquaintance is on the way to being a friend. And if you want them to be a friend, you just have to invite them to do something other than swing dancing or other than the activity that you met them in. Because otherwise you're just tied to that activity. But as soon as you go see, like, oh, let me go see, I'm looking for someone to go see this unrelated show with, or go to this unrelated event. It can be something free. And it's like, do you want to come with me? And if they say yes, then you go to this unrelated thing, then you have a friend. Done. Made. It's easy. It's a formula. Now, you greet this person, this acquaintance, with this huge warmth, like this, you're offering this big hug. They might match you with the same energy 9 times out of 10. And 1 time out of 10, 1 time out of 5, 1 time out of 3, you're going to be met with just this cold, weird feeling where they don't match your excitement back. Do not let that dissuade you, little bunny, from greeting people with the excitement that you are so excited to see them. No matter how charming you are, and no matter how good your hair looks and how good your outfit looks, no, no matter anything, there are going to be people that when you greet them with happiness and joy, they're just going to meet you with ice. Maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with you. Maybe that's just their personality, or maybe you accidentally offended them or something, or maybe they're in a bad mood, or maybe you met them when they were in a bad mood. Who knows? You could be a billion different things. Let that go. Your relationship and connection with the 9 out of 10 people who are going to be so happy and glad that you made their day by greeting them, and now they want to be your friend. I think that chilling response that you can get with the occasional person who meets you with a coldness, I think those moments might be the reason that we don't always greet people with this joy. It might be the reason that we greet people with kind of a nonchalant, like, hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? You ever greet people that you want to like you, or that you admire them, or you would like to be their friend, and you greet them with a, hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? You ever do that? Are you guilty of that, little bunny? I'm guilty of it until 2 weeks ago. And I've decided that now I'll report back if this turns out to be horrible advice. Horrible wisdom, I should say. I will come back and I will tell you, I will say, little bunny, I was greeting people with warmth and my life got so much worse. But so far, so good. I've greeted, I guess 10 people I've greeted with this. It's not a fake warmth, because these are people that you genuinely do want to like you back, and you are genuinely interested to see them. It's not even a manipulative thing. You're expressing the truth of how you feel about them, that you are excited to see them and you are willing to show it. So let's see. Yeah, I guess it's probably been about 10 people so far that I've gotten the chance to greet like this. I think it's about 9 out of 10 respond back with the same warm, loving energy. And then 1 out of 10, it's this weird, mismatch where the energy is not reciprocated in the way that maybe you would want it to be. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't even have to obsess over trying to figure it out. Yeah. Just make sure you're treating people well and not obviously trying to ruin someone's day, or, make sure you're spreading joy. Then don't worry so much if someone greets you with a little bit of coldness or avoids you or something. It's okay. Let them do their thing, little bunny. It's totally, totally fine. And I need a sip of tea. I cannot wait to go greet more people. There's various activities that I haven't gotten to go do since. But yeah, I gotta say one more time. There's a few people where I had been kind of negative voices in my head, assuming that they're not excited to see me. And so therefore I'm going to play cool and pretend not to be too excited to see them. But this week I just was brave, and I was like, you know what? When I see this person walk in the door, I'm going to let my eyes light up. I'm going to be so excited to see them. I'm going to offer them a hug. And guess what? Their eyes lit up back. They came to give me a hug. Most of it is because I was brave to show, first, this is how I want this to go together. Okay, I think, am I off the clock now? That's how we do things now in the podcast. On the clock. And then I give you your wisdoms. And the quality's got to be good. And then now I am off the clock. And I now no longer am responsible for the quality of this episode, little bunny. So you may now stop the audio. Stop it. Because quality is going to go downhill. I've always wondered, I think I've told you this before. Does downhill mean easier or harder? Or I guess it means easier or worse. If something goes downhill, oftentimes they mean something gets worse. Oh, wow, that shit went downhill. But also, if you are riding a bike, have you ever ridden a bike up a hill, little bunny? What's the best part of riding a bike up the hill? It's that at the end, after the top, you get to go downhill. And downhill on a bike is so easy. And also, the worst part is done. During COVID pandemic, it was so silly. I would rent they call it city bike here. You can rent a bike by the minute, basically. And I would just rent a bike that was at the front of this bridge. And I would ride the bike over the bridge, uphill, and then it's downhill. And you get to enjoy the downhill. Turn right around, bike up the bridge. Get to the top, you're like, finally. And then it's all downhill from there. You park the bike, then you go back to your box. Live in a box for the remainder of the hours of the day. What else can we talk about? You making sure to spend your time wisely, little bunny. Either with fulfilling work, that's a job, or, sorry, 1 second, or a fulfilling activity. It can be something you lose money on. That can be a fulfilling activity. I do not buy into this concept that what you do, we have this question, I don't know if it's just in America, but it's like, oh, so what are you? And it's a way of asking your profession, specifically what you do for money. It's like, oh, how do you make the majority of your money? And that sounds really silly to me. What really makes more sense is like, what's something you do that you love to do? What's something you identify as? You identify with an activity you identify as being someone who's really into that activity. Are you making sure you got that activity being well fed and well developed, little bunny? Is it your writing? Are you making sure to go to the coffee shop with your either laptop or notepad and make sure you're writing your outline, little bunny? Don't just start page 1, first sentence, and just write start to finish. That's not the way to do it. Every professional writer ever, at least 99%, is going to tell you to do the outline first. You start zoomed out. And maybe you want to leave some spots ambiguous ahead of time. That's fine. But you need to start zoomed out. And then you go one level deeper down. And you do like a more micro outline. And all these times you're revising. And then eventually, when you know all the spots you need to hit, that's when you start writing. Once upon a time, the door opened slowly. Such and such jumped in the air. You don't start with such and such jumped in the air. Okay, what else? Your avocation is the great term discovered for me by my dad, actually. Avocation. It is something that you do that's not necessarily for money, but could be for money. Something that you do that's not necessarily for money, that you really identify with. For many people, it is swing dancing. The only way to really make money doing swing dancing is to teach swing dancing. And if you're competing in swing dancing, there's no like $100,000 prize or anything like that. It's just, for fun, they'll print out a certificate for you or something. Maybe they'll spend $15 to get a little medal made. But people who really take swing dancing, for instance, so seriously, they're training all the time, competing or just giving it their all in social dances, they might cut hair for a living, or they might do spreadsheets for a living. They might give legal advice for a living. They might move boxes. They might deliver packages for a living. And they have the choice. They can identify as being someone who moves the boxes, who does the spreadsheets, who cuts hair, things like this. And those are all super important, valuable things to do, that they can identify with that. And they are also allowed to have the core of their being be a swing dancer. It doesn't matter that their money comes from something else. That's so not part of the identity. So I give you permission. Whatever you want to be, I give you permission that you are right now. I am knighting you. You know how the kings knight people with the sword on the one shoulder, the one shoulder, the one shoulder. Whatever your avocation is, novelist, musician, dancer, quilter, scrapbooker, I don't know. I am hereby knighting you. Ching, ching, ching. Maybe actually do it. I'm going to make you do it on yourself. So if you have an avocation picked out and you want to officially identify as that, regardless of whether the money is there or will ever be there, we're going to start, unless you're driving, start on your left shoulder, then over your head to your right shoulder, or then over your head again to the left shoulder. We're going to go bing, bing, bing. You will officially be the blank, which you fill in with your activity. Ready? Here we go. Bing, bing, bing. I hereby, as your daddy Lindy, bestow upon you, little bunny, the title of your choosing that describes someone who takes very seriously your avocation. Sound good? Love it, little bunny. And you're like, Daddy, I chose professional ice cream taster. And to that, I say, little bunny, well done. Very sneaky of you. I'm impressed. Or maybe professional smutty reader. Well, little bunny, if this, I'm not even joking. If the startup succeeds, there will be a possibility for readers. I don't have a verb for it right now. I don't know if it's readers or players or whatever. 1 second. There will be a possibility for you to play the drafts of stories that creators are creating. So this is going to be very well built in. Is that there's someone who is creating a series of stories that are really successful, and they have maybe 5 different directions they want to take this story, or there's 5 little details they want to try out. We are going to have in the startup the ability for them to sponsor readers to be able to test the stories for them. So you can activate professional smutty reader mode if you want to read smut or any kind of story. There'll be plenty of smut on there. If you want to professionally read smutty stories, your daddy Lindy is working hard right now to make that happen, okay? That could be your avocation, spending all day helping authors figure out the best version of their story. And it goes with this avocation thing. If you're a musician, little bunny, the way that we're setting it up to be extremely easy to collaborate. So anyone can create stuff professionally and release it on this platform. And it's going to be super easy to collaborate and split the profits of the stories that you post. So if you team up with someone else, so these are primarily going to have a visual component. So illustration, kind of like a manga or a comic book. If you are a writer and a voice artist, let's say, and you want to team up with an illustrator, it's going to be so easy in the platform to just dial the knob of 50 to them and 50 to you. Or you could do it where you do 30 to them, 30 to you, and then the remaining 40 you might split out on different things. Like you want original music, well, you can promise 5% to a composer and they will compose the music for you, and you don't have to pay anything up front to them, but they're going to get to have an avocation as well and potentially make some great money if this story turns out great, and they'll get 5% of the proceeds. And then maybe you have various voice actors. If you want voice acting, you can give your main character can get 10%, and you can have these little minor characters that'll get 1%. People will just toss in a few voice lines. And then Little Bunny, do you understand how awesome this is that is being built right now? And the garden has a place at the very center of it. So don't you dare think for a second that this takes away from the garden. There are going to be as many damn garden games, story book, manga, stories, smutty novels on this platform as I can. I'm going to get the maximum number of garden stuff I can on there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And with look, one of the reasons that I have been hesitant to collaborate with fellow bunnies before is the messiness of the payments. And so if you want to collaborate with me, Little Bunny, and you want to make some money making some garden content, oh my God, I'll make some stories and we'll do like a bunch of cuts of the pie, right? We'll give out as many 0.1% if you want to do just like a little thing. You want to draw a little thing on it and then submit that. And then we'll have something made by you and all your fellow bunnies, and you'll get 0.1% of whatever the profits are of that piece of work. We'll be professional collaborators, Little Bunny, you and me. And so you better start working on your skills. You better start practicing your scales if you want to learn how to compose. You better work on your singing if you want to sing a little song during it. Work on your voice skills if you want to start a podcast, Little Bunny. It is unbelievably hard to grow a podcast just by releasing podcast episodes. So if you want to start a podcast, I totally encourage it, as long as you understand the listenership is just going to be basically zero unless you're recruiting people from elsewhere. I wouldn't recruit with paid advertisement. I don't think that's the most effective way of recruiting. I don't know if I'm ever going to pay for advertisements. I've done no pay for a boost ever. No advertisements. I might see if we can go the whole way, the garden, in all time, to have never done a single advertisement of any kind. That'd be cool. But yeah, if you want to do a podcast, a huge part of what doing a podcast will do, Little Bunny, is it will get you comfortable, especially if you wear headphones while you do it and you hear your own voice in your ears. You'll learn how to speak in ways that just have a little more production value, you know? You're going to learn the cadence of the voice. You're going to learn how to enter softly into the words, or hit it punchy. You know, enter softly into the words or hit it punchy. Things like that. The way to say vowels. So tall versus tall. Tall, tall. little things like this. And I need to take a sip. Hold on. You'll break habits of of starting your sentences with so. You'll break those habits. And then when the time comes when you want to have 4% of the pie chart for doing some kind of voice work, you could be a narrator. Once upon a time. Do the best once upon a time you could ever do. I'm going to try right now. Let's see how good of a once upon a time I can do. And let me save the episode 1 second. Boom. Okay, we're saved. God, I would have fucking hated to lose this episode because I'm having a great time. I will say that I do regret being too punchy with this episode. I don't know, I'll listen back to it. I do want to ease into the words more. Just more of a nice, gentle caress. Anyway, let's see how good of a once upon a time I can give. I'm going to give different versions. So let's do one first. If it's a garden story that is utopia, happy bunny garden, not a care in the world ever. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. All right? I think those work. Now, let's do like a smutty one. It's gonna be, you're still gonna be a bunny, but you're a human bunny. No, maybe not even with bunny ears. There's a daddy in a suit. Yeah, in a smoky room. Maybe he's in front of the fireplace. And he's got a glass with ice in it. And he's leaning back, relaxed. And you've entered his room because you need something from him. And he doesn't need anything from you. What could you possibly give him when he has everything? He has so many people. You get the vibes. Okay. So, once upon a time. Let me relax my face. Once upon a time. It sounds a little too fantasy, like too dark. Once upon a time. It's too dry. Hey there, little bunny. Once upon a time. Okay, that was almost there, but I need to have a little more melody to it, so. Hey there, little bunny. Once upon a time. Upon a time was too flat. There's got to be in upon a time. It cannot be na 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 na. I think it should go down. Na 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 na. I think it's got to slow into it, right? Upon a time. And then the word time, I'm is not sexy. Time, sexy. Time, not sexy. So we're going to have a nice tall time, and we're going to go na na na. So we're going to go down and slow into it. And then the first one, the word has to be, the once has to be like with desire. Like I almost can't even. Once upon a time. Yeah. All right, we'll see if that was good. Okay, what's another type of story we can do? Okay, we'll do non-romance, or like romance will be a side plot, but it's a fantasy story. And it's a bit dark, it's a bit serious, there might be some blood in it and things like this. It might be more of a fight the bad guys with sharp swords kind of thing. Okay, more Lord of the Rings-esque. Once upon a time. I rushed into it. okay? If this is a long, epic story, little bunny, I need to be settling the listener in. You need to know that you're going to be in this seat for a long, long time. Once upon a time. There we go. Except I think the second half of that was a bit too dense in terms of the syllables. I think it still needs to slow into it. Once. No, that was too human. Has to be more like a tree is saying it, you know. Let me get some tea real quick. Once upon a time. Okay. No, if I'm going to have, I realize it's not that the second half was too dense. It's that the first half needs more density, yet also it needs to really take its time. Once upon a time. But that doesn't sound like a normal sentence, right? Let's try again. Once upon a time. It sounded so acted. Okay. Once. That sounded human. Once upon a time. Sounds like a cartoon. Okay. Once upon a time. This is a hard one. I'll go with that one. No, I'm going to do the one that has so much time in it. Okay, let's think back. I need to set you into your chair. You're resting your hands on the armrest, but your hands will be gripping the edges because you know this is a dark journey. You're settling in. You'll be here for a while. Once upon a time. I think we'll go with that. That's the hardest one yet. What's another? By the way, if you're sick of me doing this, little bunny, I am off the clock. So I'm going to keep doing it, okay? And there's nothing you can do about it. You got it? Okay. Glad we have that understanding. I think those are basically the three, right? You can tell me which one you like best, or you can, you know what we'll do? We'll do, this is such a dumb idea. I think this is so dumb I don't even want to say it. We'll get like a repository of bunnies saying once upon a time, and then we can like put those in a whole bunch of garden stories. I don't know. You can do your once upon a time however you want. You could do yours all cutesy, which I'm not going to do in the microphone because it's not going to be hot if I do it. It'll be hot if you do it. Even if you have a deeper voice than me, a little bunny. If you're a bunny, it'll be super cute if you do a cutesy once upon a time. Okay, I guess we'll call it there. Oh, God. I have to get my sleep cycle back in a good rhythm because I'm going to be doing a silent retreat, little bunny. It'll be very short. It won't interfere with making content. But I am so excited to unplug from my phone, from everything, and just, I don't know, exist somewhat blankly. I've never done one before, so we'll see. I think it's silent, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to get to bed. I'm going to do my best to get to bed. I love staying up late, though. It already is late. It's past midnight. I'm going to get to bed. I will wake up tomorrow morning and I will write you a little poem. Maybe you're a poet, little bunny. Maybe I'm a poet. What's my avocation, little bunny? I'm a little bit of everything. Maybe you can pick for me. Whatever my term is. I think I'm many things. I'd like for it all to be your Daddy Lindy. I will talk to you in just a moment, but for me, I will go to bed. Good night. Good morning, little bunny. I slept very well, thank you for asking. Oh wait, I gotta give you the wonderful greeting you deserve. Good morning, little bunny. I slept very well, thank you for asking. Although maybe it's entertaining for me to be like, good morning, little bunny. I have a poem for you. It's fun, and it goes like this. Hello, my wonderful acquaintance. It brings me joy to see you today. My feelings for you need not be ambiguous. I like you, and I'd like you to stay. Have a great week, little bunny. Go out and apply the wisdom and come back with all kinds of new friends that you never thought you could make. And a couple embarrassing moments that will not prevent you from getting out there. Sound good? Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I love you. I love you. I love you.